I've been working on this Cub Cadet 1030 for a long time, and I just about was going out of my mind with it. You can see two pulleys down there. There's the original one. This was one I just bought today. The problem that I was having when I put the new belts on, when you put the brake to try to stop, it would just keep on going. And so I tried different belts. The lower drive belt is good. It's not an oddball size. It's not a half size. You can get it just in the Oregon belt section in the store. But the upper belt is an oddball size from Cub Cadet, which I purchased one, ordered it, came in, and it didn't, still was messed up down there. It wouldn't stop when you put on the brake. And I should have known what the problem was, but I didn't think of it. So I kept trying different combinations, trying different size belts up for the top. And then today I finally realized that the problem is in this variable speed pulley system. And this middle portion here was sticking, and I tried cleaning it with brake cleaner and putting some WD-40 in there to try to maybe get some dirt out of there, whatever, and it wouldn't budge. So what I ended up doing was grinding I don't know if I can get that off there with one hand. I ground the 3 welds off on there, removed this upper piece, then I removed that center piece, and I got these in the mail, these ball hone set, and I honed out the center piece, and then I put the remainder, which not one-handed. I slid the rest of it on this and put washers and a nut on there, put it in here, and then took some emery cloth to it. Anyway, I got it smooth. So now I need to get this on here straight and then weld it, and it should be good. So in all of this, I made some inadequate videos on how to change the belts on this thing, because there isn't anything on YouTube as of right now. And so I'm hoping that I have enough footage that makes sense that I can put one up in case somebody else has been looking. It's really not that hard. You have to drop the axle. You can see it hanging there. The transmission, whichever, you got to drop it. And I have done it probably, without exaggeration, 20 times in all of this. So I could do it in my sleep now. Well, I want to go over this and make sure it's right. I'm getting ready to weld it, and hopefully it will turn out good. And the reason why I'm repairing this is because a new one is at least $100. So that's why. All right then, I reckon. Okay, so I had started out blindly on this to figure out how to change these drive belts, both of these. And my video was such a wreck because I was learning as I was going. And I'm seeing I got an oil leak here. Since then, I have done this, I don't know, probably close to 8 or 10 times. Reason being is this drive belt right here, something just isn't right. This one here, I just took one off the shelf. It's an Oregon belt, 75-538. This one works good. This one, the OEM one, is 1/2 inch longer than its replacement, approximately a 1/2 inch. So the part number that I had the hardware store order, I don't have it with me, but it didn't do any good because when I got the belt in and put it on, it was still too loose. With the clutch, well, the brake, with the brake pedal locked down, with the brake pedal up, there was just way too much slack. It wouldn't go. So I started buying organ belts and going with different sizes. They were either way too tight or way too loose. And in all appearances, I needed a 1/2 size. So this belt, I found one on eBay, is a 5/8 by 34.5, and I just got it in today, put it on, it's too tight. So I was driving it around, but when I put the brake on, it kept going. Get it jacked up in the rear and get you some jack stands. And right now, these are not on the axle, but they will be. So once you get your wheels off, the next thing you're going to do is remove this belt keeper plate. You should never have to pull the pulley that's on the crankshaft off. You can do this job without doing that. It doesn't make it any easier to take it off. This one sees down there, I couldn't get it off, but that's upon further investigation found out I didn't need to do that. So there's 2 bolts that hold this on. I've got one off already. Take that off. The only thing holding the axle on are 2 bolts on both sides, one here and here, which also holds this belt keeper in place. So 2 here, 2 on the other side, and this one right here. You will have to remove this nut, pull the spring off, and then loosen this one so that you can move this belt keeper out of the way. You will have to remove this clip, and then there's a cotter key here. You want to take that off so that you can pull this up to get it out of the way. And then there's this yellow wire coming down, and it plugs in just back there. Unplug that. It's actually really simple to do this job. I have this zip tied just so that it stays on there, because one time I put everything back together and I forgot to put this belt off. Then I had to drop this down again in order to get that on there. Another thing, after the job is all done, I take another little zip tie to this end and I just zip tie it up to this cable here. That way I can take it for a test spin to see if it's going to work. And either way, whether it works or not, I'll have to clip that off. Okay, so we have the transmission just swung down. The axles are resting on the jack stands. This belt, I'll just leave hanging there. I have removed this pulley, the one that goes right up, wherever it goes, right here. So we're going to remove this. No, we don't want to remove it. You can just loosen this. You don't have to pull this all the way down. I started out taking that totally off, but I found out you can just loosen it enough to wobble it to get it around these pegs. And you should be able to do it by yourself without any help, provided your arms are long enough. I'm not real tall, but I can do it. So you'll need a 9/16 wrench up on top, up above, and then, well, what is this one? Probably 9/16. Yes, 9/16 socket.
Ain't that the cutest little thing?